All right, everyone. Hello and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller. I'm one of the yoga instructors here for Yoga for Caregivers. So, this is our weekly stretch session where we focus on getting into our bodies, stretching ourselves out, getting us ready for the rest of our day and the rest of our week. So, as you move through practice today, let's keep in mind our boundaries. Notice, where are you ready to extend into postures? Where do you need to modify and come down to the mat? Or perhaps just find a center posture. Also, keep in mind, I don't often cue water. So, if and when you start to feel thirsty, of course, please feel free to just step off your mat, grab that drink, and then join us whenever you feel ready. So, with all of that being said, let's find a comfortable seat here, whether the legs are crossed or straight out in front of you. You can be up on a prop like I am. I'm sitting on a block or just down on your mat. We're going to wiggle back and forth, rooting into our sits bones, and then we'll sit up nice and tall here. Let's inhale as we draw the shoulders forward and up, and then exhale as we drop them back and down. Inhale as the shoulders come forward and up. Exhale as they drop back and down. Finding a comfortable position for your hands, whether on your knees, palms up or down, or in your lap. You're welcome to close the eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or perhaps just find an unmoving point and soften your gaze here today. So we're coming to the end of the year. This is a really interesting time. Many of us have very full bellies, very full hearts. We've just spent a lot of time, for most of us, with family or friends or doing a lot. I know for me during this season, I usually feel a little bit tired, a little bit slothful. I just want to cozy up and sit on the couch. And I still think there's time for that. But why don't we focus today on getting a little bit of that energy moving, kind of clearing out the systems, getting the breath going. So, with all of that being said, we're just going to find this comfortable seat here and tune into the breath to get us started. So, take a moment and notice the breath. Notice how fast or slow it's moving, how deep or shallow. Notice the quality of each breath on the inhale, the quality of each breath on the exhales. Feel into that gentle rise and fall of the belly, that gentle rise and fall of the chest. And as you breathe, see if you can really tune in to all of the sensations that happen on the in breath, on the out breath, and that little pause in between them. Now, the mind, it might want to wander off on a thinking adventure. And that's okay if it happens. The moment that you've noticed you've gone away, that's mindfulness. Celebrate that moment and then return to the breath. Return to focusing on the inhales and the exhales. If it's more helpful for you, you can incorporate a mantra here with your breath. It can be anything at all, something that is powerful for you, something that you want to incorporate into your life this week. A simple one can be inhaling, I am, exhaling, present, inhaling, I am, exhaling, present. Noticing here what makes sense for you, staying connected with the breath for just a few more moments. Take a couple deep inhales here as you set an intention or a purpose for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take another deep inhale as you feel the intention with the heart and mind. And then exhale the breath out. Set the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Lovely. Now we're going to go ahead and move that prop out of the way if you're using one, coming into a comfortable seat on the mat. We'll start by inhale, sweep your arms wide, cast your gaze skyward, and then exhale, twist over to the left side, bringing that right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the body, seated twist. And then inhale, sweep those arms up overhead, and then exhale, twist over to the right, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the body. Curve your head around into a seated twist. Inhale, returning to center, arms go tall. Exhale, twisting over to the left, getting a little rhythmic movement here today. Inhale, back into center. Exhale, twisting over to the right, curving that head around, not straining, but inhale, coming back into center. Exhale, twisting over to the left, but just allowing that twist to come all the way up into the cervical spine. Inhale, back into center. Last time, right side. Exhale, over to the right. Good. Inhale, we come back into center. Exhale, drop your left hand down to the mat. Step it out to the left about a foot, and then lean over to the left, reaching through those right fingers, seated side bend. Pressing into that bottom arm, pressing the ribs on the diagonal away from the body, feeling that beautiful line of energy from the fingertips down into the right hip. You can always drop that left elbow down to the mat, bringing it beneath the shoulder for a deeper stretch. It's an option, though, not a requirement. Keeping that right hip, that right sit bone grounded down into the mat here. Good. And then inhale, come into center, switch sides, drop that right hand down, step it over to the right about a foot, and then lean over to the right as you reach those left fingers for that seated side bend on the opposite side. So again, we're reaching through those fingers here, press into that bottom hand, feel that nice line of energy through the ribs, moving those ribs, pressing them out on the diagonal here. Again, you can drop to that elbow on the right side, keeping it beneath the shoulder, option, not requirement. And then keeping that left hip rooted down into the mat here, so you're getting as full of a stretch as possible. And then inhale, let's come into center. Both arms reach tall. And then exhale, drop the hands down to the mat, roll over the knees or kick the feet out to the side. Let's come into a tabletop position. So your hands come beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips, tops of the feet come down onto the floor. We'll inhale as we sink the belly, lift the head and the hips, coming into cow. And then exhale, lift the back, sink the head and the hips, coming into cat. Inhale into cow as you sink the belly, look up toward the sky. Exhale into cat as you press the mat away and feel the shoulder blades separate. Inhale into cow, looking up, feeling that stretch through the throat even. Exhale into cat as you feel that shift in the tailbone, pelvis pointing down toward the floor. Good. Inhale into neutral. On the next inhale, tuck the toes. On the exhale, lift the hips right into a down dog. This may be the first down dog of the day or week. Let's walk out that dog. Bend one knee and then the other, opening up the backs of your legs. Taking a nice deep inhale here. And then a nice deep exhale. A nice deep inhale. And then an exhale brings us into stillness. Press into the hands, move the chest toward the thighs. Good. Feel that pull through the back of the legs. Feel the heels reach toward the floor, even if they do not touch. Gaze is toward the toes. Shrug the shoulders down onto the back here. Good. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Inhale, look up between the hands. Let's baby step those feet to the top of the mat. Come right into a halfway lift. So the knees are slightly bent. Torso is parallel with the floor. Back flat. Shoulders are shrugged down onto the back. Hands are on the thighs, on the shins, or maybe fingertips on the floor if you can keep that back nice and flat here. Good. Let's take a nice deep inhale here. And then exhale, sink into your forward fold. So tuck the chin, look between the legs here. So your arms can hang limp. You can palm the mat, or you can bring pinkies to opposite crooks of the elbows here and gently sway from side to side. Keep a very gentle bend in your knees, but try to lean forward under the front 2/3 of your feet. So you're really elongating through the spine here, feeling that nice decompression through all of the vertebrae. Deep breaths. One more deep breath here. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, release those arms, bend the knees, flatten the back. And then on the following inhale, reverse swan dive, sweep your arms wide and up. And then exhale into heart center. You feeling that energy moving, a little bit of that lethargy floating away here? All right, let's keep it going. Let's get a little bit more heat in the body. So inhale, arms go tall. Exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. Inhale into a halfway lift, a nice flat back, shoulders down. And then exhale, fold. We bend the knees, plant the hands, and step back into our plank pose. Hands beneath the shoulders, balls of the feet beneath the heels. We're one long line from shoulders to heels. If you need to modify, drop those knees, untuck the toes, but keep the hips at an angle like this. So you're keeping that core engaged. Wherever you are, let's take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale, bend at the elbows, tuck them into the side, lower all the way down to the mat, untuck the toes. Inhale, bring the elbows beneath the shoulders, plant the forearms, lift the gaze and the torso coming into Sphinx. So shoulders are shrugged down. We're drawing the elbows in toward the body. And if you're clenching your glutes, release the glutes, feel them sink into the pelvis sink into the floor here. Good. Couple deep breaths here. Feel that nice pull through the front side of the body, the abs here. If you ate like I did over the holidays, you're saying, what abs? Nice deep inhale. And then exhale to come back down to the mat. Hands beneath the shoulders, using knees are pressing straight up. Come back into a plank. And then exhale, press into your down dog. Great work. Inhale, look up between the hands, step or walk to the top of your mat, come right into that halfway lift. Nice flat back, shoulders shrug down. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, flatten the back, reverse swan dive, the arms sweep wide and up. And then exhale into heart center. Great work. Inhale, the arms go tall. Exhale, we swan dive down into that forward fold. Exhale, right into a halfway lift, nice flat back. And then exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into plank. Good. Whatever your plank is, take a nice deep inhale here. And then exhale, bend at the elbows. Let's all lower all the way down to the mat, untuck the toes. Good. Inhale into Sphinx or perhaps baby cobra. So baby cobra is inhale, using the back muscles to lift the torso. Hands are very gently on the mat, or you can even hover them if you prefer. Elbows are bent and tucked into the sides. Your gaze is down at your mat, so you have a nice long spine here up into the neck. So we're protecting the neck there. Good. Pelvis is pressing into the floor. Your glutes might be more engaged here as that back really engages to lift the torso. Good. Tops of the feet are on the floor. Deep inhale here. Exhale to lower back down. Inhale, coming into your plank. And then exhale, pressing into down dog. Inhale, look up between the hands, step or walk to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, a nice flat back. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, flatten the back, reverse swan dive, our arms sweep wide and up. And then exhale right into heart center. Great work. Inhale, the arms go tall. Exhale, swan dive down into that forward fold. Inhale, right into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into plank. Good. Core engaged. Deep inhale here. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat, untuck the toes. Inhale, Sphinx, baby cobra, or perhaps big cobra. For big cobra, hands beneath the shoulders, press into the mat, lift the torso nice and tall. So the shoulders are not up protecting the neck, but instead they're down and away. Elbows are slightly bent and tucked into the sides. Gaze and chest are forward and proud here. Breathing. Elbows, you're not locking out the joints. So tempting. Keep that slight bend. Work those triceps here. Try to release the glutes, allowing the pelvis to sink down. Tops of the feet are on the floor. Deep inhale. Exhale, let's come back down to the mat. Inhale into your plank. And then exhale into down dog. Great work. Inhale, look up between the hands, step or walk to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, a nice flat back. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, flatten the back, reverse swan dives, arms sweep wide and up. And then exhale into heart center. Last one. Inhale, the arms go tall. Exhale, we swan dive down into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, shoulders down. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into plank. Deep inhale. Exhale, let's lower all the way down to the mat and untuck the toes. Great work. Inhale, Sphinx, baby cobra, big cobra, or up dog. For up dog, we press in the hands and lift the torso. We press into the tops of the feet and lift the thighs. It's a very engaged posture. Elbows are still slightly bent, torso is forward, shoulders shrug down. Breathing. Inhale. Exhale, either lower down or tuck the toes, engage the core, flip over the feet, come into down dog. You can also lower back down, move through plank, and meet in down dog. Wherever you are here in down dog, let's take a nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. One more deep inhale. And then exhale, let's drop those knees, untuck the toes, sink back into a child's pose. Great work. Elongate the arms. Forehead comes down toward the mat. Now, if your forehead doesn't touch, you can always stack the forearms, stack the fists, or you can use a prop like a block or a pillow to rest your forehead down and to create some ease. These are great options, but they are not requirements. Notice what feels right for you. And if you want to give those shoulders a little bit of love, you can always sweep those around toward your toes, coming into embryo here. So wherever you are today, just take a moment, tune into the body. Notice, how are you feeling today? We've just moved the breath through the body. We've shaken up all of that energy, maybe dissolved some of the lethargy that was there and welcomed in a sense of movement, vitality, and life. Notice how it feels to be in your body here today. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Let it go. And then inhale, come on up. We're going to make our way actually right onto our back. So if you need to towel off, grab a drink of water, put on socks or a jacket for final relaxation. Now's your moment. We will not sit up for the rest of our practice, okay? So coming on down onto our backs. Let's start by tucking the knees into the chest, wrapping our arms around the legs, hugging ourselves in here, maybe rocking from side to side, little roly-poly action. It's up to you. Nice little low back massage here. Great. And then when you feel ready, let's make our way into final relaxation. So drop those soles of the feet down to the floor. You're welcome to stay right here. This is great if you have low back pain or tight hips. Great option. You can also allow the knees to fall open, soles of the feet to come together for recline bound angle. If you have tight hips, this is another good one. This is a great hip opener. Another option is to extend one leg or the other and keep that opposite sole toward the inside of the thigh for fallen tree. You can also extend both legs, coming in more traditional final relaxation. Find that position for your arms, whatever feels good. I always find that putting them up overhead and spreading the fingers wide, palms facing upward, feels like I'm receiving all of the energy that I need for that day, all of the good things for that week, all of the help that I need for that month and year. Notice what feels right for you. And if it feels better, you can always lay on your side or your belly, great options, or you can even come just into a seated position. Notice what your final relaxation is needing to look like here today, and then make your way into that. And as you settle in here, just start to notice the breath. We're no longer actively breathing, but instead we're just allowing ourselves to notice the body breathing itself. Notice how fast or slow the breath is moving, how deep or shallow. Notice the quality of each breath on the inhales, quality of each breath on the exhales. Feel into the rise and fall of the belly, the rise and fall of your chest. And just stay right here with the noticing the breath, feeling into the body, feeling into the breath. And the mind, if it starts to wander off or it gets distracted, the moment you've noticed you've gone away from the breath, that's mindfulness. You did it. Celebrate that moment and then come back to the breath. Come back to focusing on the inhales and the exhales. If it's helpful, you can always reincorporate your mantra here, whatever that may be, maybe the energy that you need or a mantra that you'd like to use moving into the rest of your day, your week, or perhaps the new year. Noticing that, feeling that. Simple one is inhale, I am. Exhale, present. Inhale, I am. Exhale, present. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments here today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of practice so you can have it to yourself, but please know that I'm watching the time and I respect yours, and I will be sure to let you out of this practice before, or out of this pose before the end of our practice. So lean back, let go, and just receive this moment with joyful awareness. There are moments in our daily life when we feel miserable, empty, and cold, and it seems everything is going wrong. We think, this is not my day. The best thing to do at such times is to go back to yourself, to your island within, to your hermitage, close the windows and doors, light a lamp, and make a fire. This means you have to stop. You have to come to a stop and are no longer busy running around thinking or talking. You've gone back to yourself, back to your hermitage, and become one with your breathing. Bringing your awareness back to this space. Taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling your belly, lungs, and chest with air. And slowly exhaling that breath back out. Taking another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Moving your arms and legs, gently waking your body up. When it feels right for you, rolling onto one side and pausing there for a moment with your arm or your hand beneath your head. here that I invite you to bring back to mind your intention or your purpose that you set at the beginning of your practice that answered the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a nice deep inhale as you make your way on up into a seated position, and we close out our practice together today. So finding a comfortable seat, rooting into your sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. We inhale the shoulders forward and up, and we exhale, drop them back and down. Hands come into a comfortable position, whether on the knees, in the lap, or at heart center. Closing the eyes if you'd like. We take a moment to express gratitude for for another lovely day here on earth and for our bodies that allow us to do so many things, including yoga. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. Again, my name is Alexis Miller, and you can find more of my practices right here on my page on Wild Blue Yonder Media on YouTube. So make sure to follow, like, subscribe. If you know someone who would like this practice, share it with them. Thank you for joining me. And if you enjoyed this practice, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, know what you enjoyed. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in a future practice. Bye.